everybody, welcome back to another segment of T.C.B. Garage. We're in the garage here with the Corvette. Getting into those, how you want to say, those little winter projects, the little things that irritate you over the course of the whole summer that don't work on your car or aren't working right. That's what I'm in here doing today in the garage. So one of those things that hasn't worked since I got the car done, since I got the restoration finished on it, has been my oil gauge. Oh, I'm gonna wait for my lights to stop blinking there. That's my alarm. Does that every time I get in the car. Anyways, I put a little light on that, and my oil gauge, if you see that right there, has been pegged ever since I put everything back together. The battery indicator works, the water temperature, fuel gauge work, clock, it doesn't work, they never do, and I'm not really too worried about it. But that oil pressure gauge has been an irritation for the past 2 years. So I'm getting into doing a couple checks on the gauge itself to make sure it works. We're going to show you that, and then I'm going to show you how I'm going to put in my sending unit. From the factory, I do believe on the C3s, the oil sending unit is way down there, just above the oil filter. I don't know if anybody can see that, if it's picking up. My engine is not original to the car, and there is a spot for the sending unit to screw in, but it's not open. There's threads there, but it's blocked off. So evidently this car, the oil sending unit, or this engine I should say, the oil sending unit was always back in the back of the manifold. But going over here to it, and I got one from AC Delco, so we got a good sending unit. As you can see, what the Corvette calls for is a rather large sending unit, and then the connection there is too short to go into the manifold, or into the back of the block I should say. It's hitting the manifold. So what I got is a couple different connectors from Amazon. One's a little straight connector, and then the other one's a little 45. If you guys run into this issue, I will have the parts numbers for everything in the video description. But we're going to put these in real quick. Let's see if that fixes my problem. If I have a working gauge, which I'll be totally excited about, because when it comes to these old cars, most guys don't like having things on there that do not work. It just irritates me to no end. So for 2 years looking at that gauge, it wasn't showing me anything. Decided to get in here and get it fixed. So let me put that on, put those in there, and then we'll come back and we're going to see if we have a working gauge. Alright guys, so we have our sending unit hooked up. See it right there. It's just angled out towards the back of the firewall a little bit. I only used one of the 45-degree fittings. You can see right there. I didn't want to use the other piece because it sort of pushed it too far up from the engine. I just didn't like the way it looked. But we got our wire connected. I did forget to mention I did have to run a new wire going from my gauge to the sending unit. I guess somewhere along the line mine was shorted out. If you do need to hook yours up though, it is a blue wire coming off the main harness in the back of the motor. But we're going to jump inside the car here and we are going to see if we got this thing fixed, if I have an actual working oil gauge. Alright, so once again my lights are blinking. We can see our gauge is pegged out. That's one of the things that's going to tell you you're having an issue with your sending unit. Usually that means you have a short in that wire going to it. Alright, come on lights. There we go. Let's just turn the lights on. So as you can see, we're pegged out. So what should happen when I turn on the key is it should go to 0. And it does. So that means my wire is good. So let's start the car up and see what happens. Alright guys, look at that. Oil gauge is working. little check to make sure we don't have any leaks. Alright, I don't see any. I don't think we got any leaks at all, so that's good. Alright guys, so that's going to wrap up this video. Nice and short and sweet. I'm really happy to have my oil gauge working. It's one of those little tiny things when you get your car all done, but you're not totally done. These cars are never totally done. We all know that. But it's nice to get those little things working, and that's the one thing winter affords you, because you're not driving it. So the only thing you can do is come out here to the garage and tinker with the little tiny things. The little things that are that get on your nerves all spring, all summer, all fall, and you get tired of them and you decide to fix it. So hopefully this will help some of you guys out if you have the same situation, if your oil gauge is not working, if you need to replace your sending unit, and if you have the situation I did where you could not access that the port above the filter, and you actually had to put it back here. So we can see that can be done. Like I said, I'll leave a link with all the parts I used in the description of the video, so anybody needs these, they can find them easily. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button. Subscribers are growing. I'm really happy. Welcome to all the people who recently subscribed to the channel. Welcome. A big thank you for subscribing. Yeah guys, get out there in the garage this winter. Work on those little tiny things that aren't done on your cars, or work on the big things. And you know, get your cars done and get them ready for spring, because it'll warm up sometime. Yeah, so alright everybody, have a good one. Everybody stay safe, and I will see you in the next one.